horizontal live, it flipped it vertical, and it's doing it again. I don't know why, but we're gonna roll with it. I guess that's the way it goes. Hold on. Let me fix ourselves here. All right. We are live. All right, so I am down here at the Schuylkill River today, and it is Halloween. I'm going to be doing a Halloween fishing live. We're going to be staying out here till about 9 o'clock-ish, doing some fishing, hopefully catching catfish, carp, eels, really anything that'll bite. We have a nice deep section of the river here. Looks to be pretty calm. We got a variety of baits. I'm going to start to get myself set up here, and yeah, we're going to get fishing. I brought my bike down here. That's how I got down here. It is quite a ways from any access point. There's the bike. I brought that along with me. And yeah, we're gonna have to bike back up a pretty big hill when we decide it's time to go out of here. So that is what it is. Hopefully this spot was worth the trek. All right, here's what our spot's looking like. And yeah, we're gonna start to get everything set up here. Pretty tough to find a spot to wedge these rod holders in between the rocks, but we got one in. There we go, we got two in. Our third rod holder is just going to be our little rod runner right here. We're just gonna use that. We got Raptor Will in here, Amanda Dunsmore, Angelito Ruiz, Pizarro. Hopefully I said all of those correctly. Raptor Will, I'm doing great. Glad that you decided to join me. We got some new faces in here as well. My YouTube's doing the weird glitchy thing where it seems to be vertical. Let me know if it's vertical for you guys. I set it as horizontal. I 100% know I set it as horizontal, and then it flipped it vertical. So not exactly sure why that is. If I try and flip it back this way, will it yell at me? We'll see. Yes, it will yell at me. It really wants it vertical. We got to figure that out here eventually, but I'm not dealing with it right now. We're just going to roll with it. Yeah. So you can see one rod holder right there, one right there, and then we're going to set that one up right there. I have 5 rods with me. The limit in Pennsylvania is 3 at a time. And we're going to use 2 lighter rods out here. This one's probably going to be a rod with just some worm. That one's going to be a carp rod. And then we're going to have a catfish rod with cut bait set out to the left. I'm going to start to get all that set up here. Raptor Will says it does appear to be vertical. Bob was having the same issue this morning. Yeah, I don't know what the heck is going on with it. I'm kind of the type of guy to just roll with the punches. And it does annoy me that it's not horizontal because that's what I wanted, but I can deal with this. It gets more views anyway, and we're right up on that monetization requirement. Four more subscribers, and I think we hit it. So we're really close. There's one. Alrighty. Whooping crane, we're gonna try and keep politics out of here. Regardless of whether I agree with you or not, I want to keep this a political free zone. It gets shoved down everybody's throats enough. I'm sure we all have enough of it with how many ads there are, so I'm gonna try and keep that out of here. Deflock says 3. I'm not sure what that means, but there you go. So also in this format, I have no idea how many viewers I'm getting, how many likes I have, because it's kind of glitching. So someone like Raptor Will in chat will have to keep me updated on that. One of my loyal guys who can keep me updated would be super awesome. All right, so the first thing I'm going to throw out is a worm on this far right rod, because that seems like the highest probability of catching something. We'll let that sit as we get the other one set up. Alrighty. What am I fishing for? Says, I think that says Sniper Dog. I'm fishing for catfish, carp, and eels are my primary target, but I'll really take anything. We're just looking to have a good time this evening. Hey Bob, how's it going? You were set up probably about half-mile upriver. Upriver? Yeah, upriver from me earlier today, it looked like, and you caught some of our primary targets for this evening, so that's at least somewhat promising. We're in a much deeper spot than what you were at. This spot's about 7 feet out in the middle. Next up, we're gonna put some pack bait on the middle rod for carp and possibly catfish. Thank you, Sniper Dog, I appreciate it. We'll have to get an update here on what our thumbinos, as they say, what our thumbs up count is looking like, as well as what our viewer count is looking like, because I'm having a similar sort of glitch to what you were having, Bob, and I can't see a darn thing as far as that goes. So I have no idea. cast this over here for a sec. Let it sit there for a minute. What do I use for eel? I've caught them on chicken liver before, and I know they're in here. I've never caught one from the river, but I have caught some, and they're in the river, so I guess theoretically it could work. I'm gonna get the cut bait out for the big rod in a minute. XDOS, hello. How are you? I'm gonna flip this around so I can see myself. There we are. I'm gonna put it right here for a minute. So you should be able to see all of our rods. Alright, gonna get the cut bait out. XDOS says they're doing good. What's my viewership looking like right now? As I said, I'm having one of those glitches and I can't see. Don't know what's going on as far as thumbs ups or views or anything like that. It was supposed to be horizontal, but they switched it to vertical. Trying to undo my cut bait box here. I have it hooked onto my bag. There we go, finally got that off. So we have a green sunfish and 2 chubs. I'm going to have a couple wipes in here. I'm going to try and keep my hands as clean as possible when doing this stuff, because we do have a little bit of festive food with us for this evening. So, this is the newest setup in my fishing arsenal. It is a heavy power 7.6 casting rod, Cast King Kong casting rod, and a PC Fun Elite Host 300 size with 50-pound braid. I have it down to a 30-pound leader, and this is my beef stick setup. This thing will be used for flathead fishing. It's very similar to the Bulkinator rod, if you're familiar with Bob's channel, that they use for big fish, flatheads, big channels, saltwater stuff, striper fishing, musky fishing. That's what I bought this thing for. I got it on an Amazon Prime Day super sale, and this is what I'm going to be chucking the cut bait out on him. And if I get a decent sized channel on it or an eel, it's definitely going to be overkill. But if I somehow hook into a nice flathead, this is going to be exactly what I'm going to want to kind of horse that thing in. I've never caught a fish on it, so if we catch one on it, it will be the first ever on this setup. It's weird because there's so many administrators. Not really, it's probably just 2. Yeah, A lot of the channels that I follow have a lot of people who are frequent flyers in there, and they make a lot of mods. I have a decent number, but not a super large amount. Kenzie's Adventures, catch anything? Not yet. We just got out here. Yeah, we're really waiting until it gets dark to get our primary targets. But yeah, we should be able to catch at least something, hopefully. Happy Halloween, Loser Guy says. Happy Halloween to you as well. Get rid of that. What am I trying to catch? Catfish, carp, eel, bullheads are the primary targets, but if I get a bass or a sunfish or something like that randomly, I'll take that as well. Alright, let's get this cut bait tossed out there. Where did I put it? It was right next to the box, and now it's gone. There it is. It blends in with these rocks down here. Alright. Little chub head on there. We're going to cast this out, loosen the drag up. There you go. Gonna loosen that drag up. Alright, got that drag loosened up so if something takes it, it can pull on it without taking the rod in. We got both our big rods set up. I'm going to mess around with the little rod, see if we can catch a sunfish or something just to get the skunk off the board here for a little bit. Kenzie's Adventures says, I got to go right now, but if you're still live when I come back, I will watch. We're going to be live for about 3 hours, so hopefully you are back within that window. What's the best thing I've caught so far? It depends on what kind of question that is. Are you talking like my lifetime in this river, this year? There's going to be different answers depending on how that question is defined. So let me know exactly what you're asking and I can give you an answer. Alright, we're going to use a piece of worm on this little jig head here, see if we can get something to start the day. The river has just experienced a drop in temperature, so the fish might be a little bit less active, but we should be able to catch something. Victoria Irwin, hey, how's it going? Levi Silkywood, do you use carp as bait? No, I do not. I know there's a ton of people out there, especially down in the south. I've seen one guy who lives in Iowa even do it, and they use carp for flathead bait. I've never done that. I live in Pennsylvania. It just doesn't seem like a very Pennsylvania thing to do. People use a little bit smaller baits here, but no, I'd totally be open to trying it someday. I'm not sure if it would work, but I'd try. XDOS says the river. Best thing I've ever caught out of the river, 30-pound flathead catfish, about something like that-ish big, 39 inches it was, and that was caught maybe a quarter mile that way in 2020. I've caught a 22-pounder, or no, 20-pounder down there. Caught a 17-pound flathead with Bob, who's in chat. That's anything is possible this summer. Mostly just big catfish. Caught some good bass in here too, but catfish are definitely the highlight. I fish in the south, and the biggest blue cat I've ever caught was 30 pounds. Yeah, same here. Flathead, 30 pounds. That's biggest catfish. My biggest fish I've ever caught was it's somewhere between 100 and 120 pounds bullnose eagle ray in Ocean City, Maryland. That was this summer. That video will be coming out probably sometime this winter, maybe January, February-ish. And if you guys get me to 500 subscribers here, I'm going to start my membership program. If you become a member of my channel, you're going to get exclusive perks. You're going to get to see that footage. That will be the first thing I ever drop on a members-only feed. They're going to get to see the footage of me catching that ray early because I have it, but I'm not ready to edit the entire video. I can just put the footage there for members. So if you want to see that early, as in whenever I hit 500 subscribers, membership. All right, got a little piece of worm on our jig head. I'm gonna go over there, see if we can catch something. Turn it a little bit. There you go. I guess I can bring you guys over here with me so I can chat and try and catch a fish here. Because I don't really think either of those rods is going to go down imminently. And if it does, I guess I can just turn the camera around. A little wobbly action, but here you go. Yeah, just casting it out there. Kind of jigging it back to us. Hopefully a little bass, a little sunfish picks it up. Morton, what we fishing for? Right now, I'm trying to catch a bluegill or a little bass to get something on the board, but our primary targets this evening are going to be carp and catfish. Do you fish the Susquehanna River? I have my grandparents and a lot of my dad's side of the family live out in that area. I've never fished the Susquehanna, but I have fished the Juniata. So I've fished in that area, just not the Susquehanna specifically. What do you guys in chat? Oh, there's some fish over there. They look little, but there's something busting over here. So we'll try over here. You go where the fish are. That's usually a good tactic. I'm going to cast it kind of more out into the river and jig it back to me. We'll see what happens. I still have not got a viewership update from anybody. Nobody's told me how many people are watching here. Or how many followers I'm up to. If anyone in chat who is not subscribed is liking what they're seeing, make sure you hit subscribe, because I've got tons of stuff like this in the works, and plenty of stuff that you can look at on my channel that's already uploaded. Once we hit 500 subscribers, I will be past the first rung of monetization, meaning I can start my membership program, which would just be super, super awesome to achieve that milestone. I do it for fun, but getting a little bit of kickback is not something I'm ever going to say no to. Morton says, what's the location? I'm fishing the Schuylkill River. Yeah, we're kind of near Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. That general location is where I am. When did you start fishing in your lifetime? I started in 2019. Was the first year I was a fisherman. I'd gone fishing before that, but I was not someone who, they did that a lot. 2019, 5 years. I fish up and down the Mississippi River and some of the Missouri River. Sweet. Those are some of the big boys. Carp just jumped way over there. I just need them to come my direction. Man, not much action here as far as a fish wanting to bite a worm. I have faith we'll get something eventually, but I don't know when that's going to be. There's another one that jumped away over there. What are the best things to use as bait? Well, what I'm using here, a live worm, catches just about everything. But there's tons of lures to use, tons of lures. There's no chance I could even start to list all of them, but some of my favorites that I can use for like multiple different types of fish are paddle tail swim baits, little trout magnets, spinners and spoons. Those are some of my top choices. Little crankbaits, that sort of thing. You can also use flies, which are feathers that you tie onto a hook to look like a small fish or a bug, and they imitate the things that are in the body of water you're fishing. And those work really well as well. Yeah, super fun to kind of try stuff out and figure out what works in a particular location for a particular type of fish. And that's why I like fishing, because it's like a puzzle, and when you figure them out, you have a really cool sense of accomplishment. Also, fishing is cool because you don't really ever know what's going to come next. You could catch something simple, a bluegill, like this worm I'm using right now. I could catch a bluegill, or I could catch a 40-pound catfish on this worm, and I never know until I actually hook the thing. So it's a super fun experience. People say it's boring because you just bait and wait, but there's tons of types of fishing to where you're actively doing something like I'm doing right now. So yeah, it really depends on what you want. There's a type of fishing out there for like everybody. Have you ever been on a boat? If you have, what fish do you catch on it? I own a kayak and frequently fish from the kayak. And I have been on boats in freshwater, pontoon boats, that sort of thing. And I've been on one charter boat in North Carolina before. So yes, I've had plenty of experience catching fish from boats, and I've caught lots of things from boats. It's really more dependent upon the type of fish that are in the water as opposed to whether you're standing on shore or out on a boat. Starting to get a little bit of bugs coming out. XDOS says, I've got to go soon. Not a problem. Hopefully you have enjoyed what you've seen. Maybe learning a little bit. You're asking some good questions here. I don't know if I have any floats with me. If I do, I might put that on and let it sit. Let's take a look in the bag. You guys right there. Can I be an administrator? I've never been one before. If you keep coming back to the channel when I do other stuff and I get to know you a little bit more, then certainly. You haven't done anything to say that you're an untrustworthy person at all, but I like to get to know people a little bit. Any tips for a full beginner? Yeah, definitely. The type of rod you should start with is one that looks like this. It's called a spinning rod and reel. It's the easiest to learn on and is the most generally versatile. I'd say start with, there's tons of different like rod powers you can get. I'd say start with a medium light or a medium, probably a medium light, which is what this is. You can throw really light stuff for small fish or a little bit bigger stuff. And I'd say start with probably a little bit of lures on the smaller side. Inline spinners about an inch long are really good. They can catch lots of stuff. Just pieces of worm on a hook like this work really well. Learn how to cast it and watch some videos on where fish live, and then learn a couple techniques really well, and you can definitely get on some fish. You won't go on everything. You probably won't catch stuff every time you go out, but you got to start somewhere, and that's where I'd say is the best place to start. Also, getting someone in person to go with you who knows what they're doing is a really good idea. Or starting out on something like stocked trout, to where there's definitely going to be people all around you and can give you some tips if you need some help. 6-pound line, 8-pound line. Yeah, 6 or 8-pound line is a good place to start. I'd probably, for a complete beginner, probably want to go with probably 8 if you're only going to go with one rod. That way you can do bass fishing, you can do a little bit of catfishing and carp fishing if you want. You can do bluegill, you can probably pull off some trout, although they can see line pretty well. So the thicker line you go with, the less chance you're gonna have at catching trout. But you know, you gotta, if you're only getting one setup, you gotta weigh the pros and cons there. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I definitely am. We're gonna get the headlamp out here soon. And type of line. For a complete beginner, I'd say probably monofilament. It's cheap, and it works for most types of fishing, whether you're fishing something up near the surface or something down deep. It's not great at everything, but it does work with everything. So that'd probably be what I go with. Probably 8-pound monofilament on a medium light rod. Start learning how to use worms, spinners, and maybe some plastic worms for bass. That'd be where I'd start. All right, let's see if I have a float to use here. All right, we do have one. I'm gonna pop that over in this region. Palomar knot is a good one, but it's not as versatile. You can't use it as well with things like, you know, honestly, that's a fine knot to start with. It's just not as easy to remember. It takes up more line. It's more prone to being tied incorrectly. I'd say start with a fisherman's knot, but if you somehow find out how to do a Palomar knot and it fits you better, then go ahead and do that. Morton is not wrong that that's a good one. Best time to fish during fall. Best time to fish during fall/winter. Do you mean like time of day? It says Phil with 2-3 L's. The life. Hello. How are you doing? Doing some fishing out here. Just trying to get something on the board before it gets dark. And then we're going to switch over to some catfishing and carp fishing. And anything else that wants to bite. Yes, time of day. Morning and night are typically the best times, no matter what time of year it is. So you can catch fish any time of the day, but those are the kind of the hot spots. We're going to cast my float out here. Almost got it in the tree because I can't see it. It's starting to get a little bit dim. But I'm going to cast it out a little bit further. And then I'm going to get my headlamp on. Alright, I'm going to lay that down right here. You guys can see it right there. It is. So spring and fall tend to be better fishing times. That is true. I mean, you can catch fish any time of the year, but there are certain times of the year that are better for certain types of fish. Generally, most types of fish. Oh, we're getting something. We're getting nibbles on our float here. Oh, we missed them. We were getting nibbles, though. Toss it back out there. Most types of fish like spring, fall, summer a little bit better when it's warmer. But fish like trout like it when it's colder. The majority of stuff you'd probably be catching likes it when it's warmer. But there are some other types of fish that are the opposite way. I would assume morning the water would be colder, so less movement. Morning is just, I mean, think about it this way. You guys are eating breakfast, us as humans are eating breakfast. So it makes sense that the fish would as well. The sun's coming up, change of conditions, that's usually when they start to hit. Do you guys have Asian carp issues that way? We do not, fortunately, but we got plenty of common carp. Seems like we got something messing with our flick. Got my line wrapped up here. I should really hold this as I wait for a bite. Oh, there you go. Man, we missed him again. We're getting good bites, we're just not hooking up. All right, I'm gonna put this down real quick and go get my headlamp. I got 4 flashlights with me to use tonight for a variety of lighting tasks. So we should be pretty set in that regard. There you go. I just gotta not look directly at the camera. I mean, I don't really need it yet. You guys can still see me just fine. We might want to put on a bit of a smaller hook. There's something going on across the river, some sort of fish doing something. I'm going to cast this back out. Caught some weeds. 39 minutes into the live and we have not got ourselves a fish. Somehow I feel like that happens every time I do a live, as it takes me quite a bit of time to catch a fish, and then once I get one, usually we do okay. I don't really believe in it, but don't want to quote unquote jinx ourselves, but I've never gone on a live where I went fishing, like on my own channel, and have not caught a fish. I've caught a fish every time I've done a fishing live, so hopefully that continues today. Who all we still got in here? How many viewers we got? Someone let me know. My YouTube's glitching and I cannot see any of that sort of thing. It's getting a little bit dim here. I definitely should switch to a smaller hook here, but I don't know. Alright, let's switch to a smaller hook. Hopefully that helps our lack of fish catches. Let's go do that here. What's your PB of a cat? I have caught a 30-pound flathead catfish about a quarter-mile downriver from here. I'm going to tilt you guys down a wee bit so you guys can see me, and I'm going to rig up a smaller hook so hopefully we get ourselves a fish here. There are active fish over there. We're we keep getting bites, but we just have not been able to hook up yet. Looks like we have one other group of people fishing directly across the river from me. But yeah. So, for anybody in here watching, here is the gist. This evening is Halloween. I am a Christian, so the whole idea of celebrating death instead of celebrating life and all these gory things isn't super appealing to me. So we are going to celebrate the season. Everyone likes candy and that sort of thing. And pumpkins are a really big thing now. By the way, I have 2 shorts about doing some interesting things with pumpkins. So if you haven't seen those, go ahead and watch them at some point this evening. They're super cool videos. I'm very proud of how they turned out. But we've got some cool foods with us. I made some pumpkin seeds in one of those videos, some cinnamon sugar pumpkin seeds. And I'm allowed to eat as many of those as we want. Every fish I catch is going to be worth 2 candies. I have some Sour Patch watermelons. They're some of my favorite candies. I don't eat candy a lot because I'm very particular about my fitness and health goals. But when I do, Sour Patch watermelons are one that I go to a lot. Every fish over 18 inches is going to be 5 Sour Patch watermelons. And if we get ourselves 10 subscribers, gain 10 subscribers by the end of the night, which would put us at 505, then I get to break out a piece of pumpkin bread. So you guys will have to let me know what the subscriber count is, because I can't see it. Morton seems to be telling me something about my view count. It says 32 people. So wait, I just dropped my hook. Where'd it go? There it is. I got plenty of them, but you don't want to waste anything or litter. So a much smaller hook is going on. I'm going to use this and hopefully get ourselves something to start the day going in the right direction. Probably won't be anything super interesting on this small of a bait, but a fish is a fish. And it means that we got something in this live. So hopefully we can pull that off. We had that was either someone casting over there or a fish jumping. Either one is a good sign, because that means that other people have the same idea about this spot being good, or that there is actually some active fish here. Deflock says, I like it. This is the devil's night, so I agree. I agree. Much better use. Awesome. I'm glad we're on the same page here. I never try and be pushy with my faith and my beliefs, but I will stand firm in them and always do what I consider to be right, which in this case is not necessarily going out there and trying to be spooky and scare people, but fishing is a much better thing to do. All right, let's see if we can get one here. Turn off the headlamp. Raymond Watkins, where are you fishing? I'm fishing in the Schuylkill River, southeastern Pennsylvania, around Phoenixville, PA. Nice calm night. Doesn't look like our big fish rods have had any action yet. Go on the yank. I'm not sure what that means. I gotta go pass out candy. I subbed. Thank you, Morton. Seem like someone who knows what they're talking about when it comes to fishing. Hopefully you enjoy what you're seeing. Enjoy your candy distribution. Oh, come on. There's no way that we had some good bites over here and now all of a sudden there's no fish. I just don't believe that. Look at that. Without the light on, you guys can't see nearly anything. Nice and peaceful is right. I'm gonna cast it up in the shallows over here. Oh, I just had one. Missed him. You guys can barely see me out here, but oh, I had him. I watched him come up and eat it. We had him. All right. Does light scare the fish? Yeah, a little bit. They don't like the light when it's supposed to be dark. They kind of have an internal clock and realize those type of things. I'm gonna flip the camera around and stand behind it so that way you guys can use my light and kind of see a little bit without looking directly into my headlamp. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'm gonna try and cast it up in there. I'm gonna go like this. And then back up. You guys can see my float way out there. Oh, we're getting nibbled. All right, there's a fish on. I missed him again. I don't understand how this is working, guys. Maybe they're just really, really tiny. This battery-powered floodlight maybe for future stream, just a thought. Yeah, I've considered getting stuff like that. I haven't done a ton of streams at night before. It was really only one, and I had a whole bunch of other people also using lights to help me out with making sure everything was nice and visible. This is the first time I've ever gone night fishing on a live solo. So yeah, if I continue to do this in the future, I'll definitely give that some thought. Gonna turn around, make sure neither of our big rods are going anywhere. Currently doesn't look like it, which is a little bit unfortunate. Oh, that was not a great cast. Super shallow where I casted it. Use that YouTube money hopefully soon. Yeah, Deflock, what's my follower count looking like right now? If we got up over 500, then I should be able to set up memberships after this stream, and we should have then hit monetization. So let me know what that's at. Hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing. Whoa. Light on the battery just dropped out a little bit. This thing gets pretty hot after a while running, so it just dropped down for cooling purposes. We are at 510, thank you guys. That means I have now hit both requirements for monetization, and we should be able to get that sort of thing set up here real soon. Thank you guys for the support. I don't know if you guys can see. Way over there we got a purple colored light. That is another group fishing. So I don't want to be too loud here to disturb someone. Oh, we just had a fish. Really good bite. Oh, fish on. Fish on this rod. Something. Hold on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We missed it. Something was going though. We still got our bait. Put it out in the same area again. But that was definitely a fish. We had one going with it. That's a good sign. That's a good sign though, guys. That was our first hit on the big rod. Incredible bulk is in. Up 14 in 50 minutes, not bad. Yeah, certainly. I was at 496 before this stream. And now we are up over that monetization requirement, which is a super awesome milestone to hit. Bulk, we just had a fish on the big rod. We're still trying to get ourselves a bluegill or something as our first fish of the day, just to get everything going in the right direction. And as we were doing that, one of the big rods started going. There's actually, especially for Halloween night, to where I thought a lot of people would be out there handing out candy, there's quite a few people still hanging around out here. We got a group catfishing off to the right, or off to the left. I can't get my directions correct here somehow. Off behind me, there's someone down trail still walking around with a headlamp. So yeah, I'm kind of surprised at the number of people that are out here, but you know, I guess if something crazy happens, it's good to know that there's other people around. That was honestly one of the scariest things about when I did my solo backpacking trip, is that it was on a Thursday evening because I had off school on Friday. And because it was on a Thursday evening, I was the only person that I saw in that entire preserve, and I knew nobody else was camping there. And it was like, man, if I needed help, there's not many people to be out and about there to possibly help me if I needed it. Kayaking Outdoorsman. I haven't been active on here for time. I guess only 500 to get monetized. I thought it was 1,000. So they lowered it last year. There's now 2 different levels of monetization. You can either be monetized to where you get money off of ad revenue, which is still 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. All right, we got a fish toying with us. All right, there's our first fish of the day. Boom. And it's exactly what I thought, just a little fish. It is a kind of an interesting one. This is called a rock bass. Super cool patterns on them. But yeah, first fish of the day. Now we can kind of relax and watch the big rods knowing we have something on the board. There you go. Or if you guys would want, we can keep trying to catch little fish for a little bit. There's our rock bass. Sweet. So to answer your question, Kayaking Outdoorsman, as I was so rudely interrupted by a rock bass, it is still 1,000, but there's 2 rungs. There's a lower rung to where you can have channel memberships and get super chats, which are fan support stuff, at 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, which I have now achieved. The next step is when I get money off of ad revenue. Yeah, let me know what you guys want. If you want me to keep trying to catch little fish for a couple more minutes, I can try that. If not, I'm gonna set up over here by the catfish rods, catfish and carp rods, and just chill out for a little bit. Got someone out here with a headlamp doing their thing. Just checking that out and making sure nothing I need to be aware of. You can never be too careful, especially in the dark on Halloween night. People do strange things. Just making sure I'm all good here. So yeah, our catfish rod on the right here, this guy right here, whoop, that one, did get a bite, but we did not hook up. But it's good to know that they're in here. And they're willing to bite here on this high Halloween night. First fish, LOL. I'm sick. I'm still over 500 and getting back into the game. New sub here and on my way to Salmon Spot for CPL hours. I'm not sure what CPL means. You might have to fill me in. Smash the big kitty. Well, thank you very much. Kayaking Outdoorsman, you seem like another guy who's right up the alley of the type of stuff I do here on the channel. So I'm glad to have your support. Oh, couple hours. Gotcha. Abbreviation. Also appreciate that little info. Yeah, if you're up over 500, if you can get your watch hours back up and running, just get a couple good videos out there, get your watch hours back up, you should be able to get that first rung of monetization. All right, I have a little chair. It's the same chair I used in my backpacking video. You guys should be familiar with it if you follow me. If not, I'll show you. But I'm gonna set up the little chair so I can relax a little bit. And I'm also gonna cast out this rod again. Alrighty, let's get our chair out. Alright, I'm gonna set up the chair in front of the camera and then sit on it behind the camera so I can see what's going on. But here is our chair. It comes in this little bag. It's a little folding stool. It only weighs about 1 pound. It's perfect for hiking and backpacking trips, as well as doing stuff like this. If you guys weren't in at the beginning of the stream, this is quite a ways from any access point, so I had to bike in here, and this is just a little chair that I could throw in the bag and bring along with me. I'm going to set this up behind the camera. I'll sit to, what do we think, maybe just to the right of the camera. And I'll sit just to the left of the camera. That's perfect. So that way I'm not casting shadows here. Maybe, I think I'm gonna lower this down just a little bit. Bear with me for just a moment. Been going for an hour and 3 minutes. The only thing we have on the board is a rock bass. All right. Lowered that down a little bit. That should be a little bit better. Got our 3 rods. Let's talk over this food situation here. I know I mentioned this, but if you guys are in here and you weren't in here a couple minutes ago, these are the pumpkin seeds that I made in a short. That was yesterday's short. The second video of our little Halloween festive series. I made these pumpkin seeds. I'm allowed to have as many of these as I want. This is kind of our little festiveness for the day. However, every fish I catch, I'm allowed to eat 2 of these. These are my favorite candy. I don't eat candy a lot, but these are probably my favorites, either this or Swedish fish. So I'm allowed to have 2 of these now that I've caught a rock bass. Any fish over 18 inches equates to 5 of them that I'm allowed to have. And then, since we did hit 505 subscribers, which was the goal for tonight, I'm allowed to eat this piece of pumpkin bread. So I'm actually gonna go like this. Not a great view. It's kind of a spooky view for Halloween, but there you go, pumpkin bread. I'm gonna eat this now. Crack it open, take a bite, let you know how it is, because we did hit our subscriber goal. Super, super awesome pumpkin bread. And something that I learned from doing our pumpkin cooking in yesterday's short, pumpkin actually doesn't have a whole lot of taste. Most of what you're tasting is the spices, but at any rate, this is still super good. Nice snack to have out here. Little reward for our effort in getting to our subscriber goal. All right, there you go. I will subscribe so you don't starve. Haha. Yep, just a little fun we're having. I already had dinner. Perfectly fine on the amount of food we've got. Checking behind me to make sure nobody's doing anything weird back there. Stuart is in. How's it going, Stuart? Stuart, you see I hit that monetization requirement? Stuart has been a big help in helping me get there. He's been like my #1 supporter on my channel for quite a while now. He's just a really, really awesome dude. He's a great member of the community, does fly tying, and loves supporting other channels in the outdoor space, and he's helped me a lot. So I'm sure Stuart's happy about that. Pappy Daniel, what state? We are in Pennsylvania. So if you guys weren't in here just a minute ago, we have 1 little rock bass on the board. And now we're watching and waiting. Our rod to the far right, this one right here, has a piece of worm on it. Our middle rod has pack bait for carp. And this far one over here has cut bait for catfish. We did get 1 pretty good bite on the catfish rod, but we did not hook up. So we know they're in here. I'm gonna get my GoPro on my chest. So that way, if I have a cool fish catch, I can get another angle. My whole thing is I won't reuse footage for other videos, but I don't really have, which isn't really a problem. I know plenty of people do it. They make shorts out of their live streams. I just want to have every piece of content I put out not look like something I did before. However, if I get a different angle and perspective and use it in a short or something like that with my GoPro instead of the live stream footage, I certainly would have no opposition to using that. So I've got the second angle, which is the GoPro on my chest for if I catch a fish. And yeah, if we do, there might be an appearance of some of this footage in another video. You guys will have already seen the catch, just not from the angle that is displayed on the GoPro. Let's finish off our pumpkin bread here, so if we get a takedown, we're ready to roll. Rock bass was a good one to catch. I was almost certain the first thing we were going to catch was a bluegill. Rock bass was a good one to have. I'm going to get some water here as well. All right, let's go grab my water. All right, we're back. We got water, always good to hydrate. I also have my water filter in here, so if I run out, I can always drink straight out of the river, which I know sounds weird, but these filters nowadays are really, really good quality things. I've drank probably the equivalent of, I don't know, maybe 20 gallons through these filters, and yeah, they haven't ever had a issue to where I got sick from the water, so I have a lot of trust in them. Jeff Schaefer, you need a Harbor Freight lantern. That's my dad checking in on me, seeing how I'm doing. Yeah, I probably should set up some of my other lights. I brought a couple other flashlights. Let's set up this one, see how this does. Alright, let me turn off my headlamp and see what that does. Not a bunch, but you can kind of see the middle rod. I have two other lights with me as well. Let's set up this one, see what this one does. I'm not turning my headlamp back on. Alright, let's do this. What's that look like? Let's see. Okay, you can definitely see the middle rod now. Let's set this one up right here. Alright, you can definitely see both those rods now. Just a little bit. And I have one more flashlight, so we'll set that up on the third rod. Perfect. Alright, without the headlamp, you guys can see the rods a little bit. So that's perfect. I don't necessarily need to have the headlamp on the whole time. But I am going to turn it on just for a minute because, as I said, every two fish I catch, I'm allowed to have, or every fish I catch, I'm allowed to have two of these, and every 18 or more inch fish, 18, I can't speak, sorry about that. Every fish that's 18 inches or longer, I'm allowed to have 5 of these as our little festive spirit. So I'm going to get 2 out because we did catch that rock bass. So open that up, grab 2, close it back up. There you go. 2 of these Sour Patch watermelons. These are some of my favorite candy I don't eat candy a ton. I've mentioned this a couple times, but I know there's people going in and out. So whenever I do have candy, these are one of my favorites to get. Hello, Jeff, you must be Dad. That is in fact true. Pickles barbecue. Hey, hey, and apple cider. Happy Halloween. Thanks for stopping in. We've got one rock bass on the board. We had one catfish bite on our far left rod, but that's it as far as the big rods go. I'm gonna check this little one on the right here in a minute. Currently enjoying my candy here. Phone percentage is at 68%. I have my power bank with me, but I didn't bring a real good cord, so the charging rate with our cord is not going to be super good. Mom is with Dad handing out candy. Hi, everyone. All right, I'm going to check the far right rod. We got someone coming down the trail. Looks like they're walking a dog. Good for them this late at night. I'm snagged up. Oh, something's happening on the far right rod. It's getting bumped. Hold on, I'm going to pick it up and hold it. Oh, we're slack. The rod's slack. Oh, yeah. Fish on, guys. Fish on the big rod. Feels like a catfish. Feels like a good catfish, too. First ever fish on this rod. We're just kind of horsing him in. Yeah, good catfish. Boom. Channel cat on the bank. Look at that. All right, we'll bring you guys down here to take a look. Look at that. Fish on the bank. And that's a good one. That gets us 5 candies, because that is definitely over 18 inches. Look at that catfish. Oh, yeah. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the headlamp over the camera so y'all can see. This might be difficult to do, but I think we're gonna be able to get it done. What if we do it like that? Guys, I really don't know how I'm gonna do this. Get a good picture. Hold on. What if we do this? All right, I got it. I figured it out. I'm gonna put the headlamp on the chair. All right, that should be good. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab the cat. All right, hopefully you guys can see. There he is. Nice little, probably 20-inch channel cat. Super, super sweet. Look at that. On the cut chub on the big rod. That's the first ever fish I've caught on this rod. Handled it like a champ. Didn't pull any drag. It's kind of why I got that thing. It can kind of horse in decent sized fish. It's a really super stout rod. All right, now I'm going to get the headlamp back on and take care of this guy. Hopefully everyone got to see that good enough. He's still down here on the ground wriggling around. I'm going to get him unhooked. And then, you guys think we should get a weight? I think I'm going to get a weight just for the hay of it. let's get my pliers. I can barely get that out. So for anybody who's unaware, catfish are a super hardy fish. Normally you don't want to just chuck a fish on the ground like this. You don't really want to have them out of the water super long too, but catfish are super resilient. This guy, I am 100% confident will be fine. So, got the hook out. I'm gonna weigh him real quick. All right. Hold on. Stay put, bud. Get a weight and then toss him back. All right. See if you guys can see that. Let's back up here. 5.12 pound channel catfish. There he is. Gonna toss him back. All right, he's back in. Let's get ourselves reorganized here. Give me just a moment. All right, let's tilt the camera back up. I win. Winner, winner, catfish dinner. Pickles, you might have to explain to me how that's a win. I didn't know there was a competition. Pickles wins a treat. How's that work? Oh, was someone, oh, they were betting on the weight. I get it. Sorry, I'm behind on chat. Awesome. Pickles wins a treat. All right, I'm not sure what the treat is. We can figure that out here in a minute. Alrighty. Our bait's still on. I think I might just toss out the same piece of bait, honestly. And we'll toss a new one on. This one's been on for a while. All right, toss that in the water, get ourselves a new piece of cut bait. Alright, I'm going to cast this back out, and then I'll get myself reorganized by the camera. That was a good first fish on this rod. Handled it awesome. Alright, here we go. Alright. I got to deal with our worm rod here in a second, but I'll check chat for the time being. Actually, the appreciation of the crowd is enough for me. Hey, it's Abby on Victoria's phone. How's it going, Abby? Or just caught myself a good catfish. Not totally in frame. Yeah, I was just doing stuff off frame. Unfortunately, this is why I wanted it on the horizontal, but YouTube has been having some sort of glitch where if you set it up as horizontal, it'll still make the live vertical. I really wanted horizontal so I can make sure that you guys could see everything in one frame, but it didn't work. So yeah, there's not a ton I can do about that. I want to make sure I can have this rod on the right and that rod on the left in frame. Everything else is kind of second thought. So if I was stepped out of frame for a minute, I guess that's okay. Scooby Snacks, sticker. You know what? Whenever I start making stickers, which I probably will at some point, I will send one to Pickles if I can remember. Yeah, one catfish, one rock bass on the board, but that's what we came out here for. Catfish was the primary target. All right. I broke off on this rod. I'm probably just gonna leave that be for a while and just rock with these two rods for a minute. That makes it easier to get everything in frame as well. But you know what I am gonna do after I wipe my hands off here a minute? Let me get my wipe. All right. All right, we're good to go. Now that we got ourselves cleaned up here a little bit from that catfish catch, as I said, any fish over 18 inches gets us 5 Sour Patch watermelons. So here we go. Count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close this up. Look at that. We haven't even touched the pumpkin seeds yet, because we got 2 from the rock bass and 5 from that catfish. Gonna enjoy these for a minute. Yeah, our far right rod broke off, got snagged on the bottom. I don't know if I'm gonna rig that up for a while. Probably just gonna leave it as it is for a little bit. I'm gonna turn this off so you guys can just see the rods. Good thing about, you know, these larger fish on these bigger setups is that you guys can't see like the tips of the rods real well, and neither can I. But when these fish bite, they're either gonna pull it down real good or they're just gonna run off with the bait. So I should be able to tell even with minimal light. I'm just gonna kind of sit here and relax without the headlamp on for a bit. Pickles says, I have stickers, used to send them out when I posted videos. That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely should get some eventually, but I don't know when that would be. There you go. One catfish on the board. This is a pretty good one. A carp would be nice. For those of you who have caught both catfish and carp, which one do you prefer? Or even if you haven't, which one seems cooler to you? Off the Hook Outdoors is in. It says, what's up, mission? Well, we're just enjoying our Halloween out here. Instead of trick-or-treating, we're fish-or-treating, I guess. And we got ourselves one catfish, one rock bass. So I am enjoying life right now. All right, last one of our 5 that we earned from that catfish. All right, finished up our candy that we earned from that catfish. For those of you like Off the Hook who are just coming in, the gist is I have pumpkin seeds that I made in yesterday's short. I can eat as many of those as I want, and then any fish I catch is worth 2 candies, and any fish over 18 inches is worth 5. So I have to earn my way to eating Halloween candy by catching fish. And we are up to 7 candies that I've now eaten from our fish catching today. Time is it? It is 7:10 p.m. I'm probably going to stay out here till around 9-ish p.m. and then we'll pack up. We already got ourselves a catfish, so I'm very pleased with the results already. But yeah, we're definitely going to sit out here for a little while longer and see what else we can get. Gotta get some lights up in there, buddy. Yeah, I have my headlamp. Right now I'm just relaxing without it. There you go. So that's what the area looks like lit up. But I'm relaxing without it right now. I'll turn it on if we get a bite. You can see our rod on the left and our rod on the right. But yeah, it is kind of nice to just sit here in the dark a little bit. I'll probably turn headlamp back on for an extended period of time here in a little bit. But right now I'm just enjoying the peace and quiet and our minimal light. With the minimal light, you can kind of see some stars up there. It's kind of cloudy, but you can see the occasional star up in the sky. So it is super cool to see that. Black lights and glowing rods. Yeah, Bob uses that type of setup quite a bit. I will, this is, as I mentioned earlier, this is the first time I've ever done a nighttime fishing live by myself. The last time I did it was with Bob, and they have a lot of lights as well. So between my lights and their lights, we definitely had the whole setup lit up pretty good. If this is something I continue to do in the future, I'll definitely look into improving this setup a little bit. Oh, did you hear the train? There you go. There's a train coming through. You can hear the horn. Or the whistle, I guess it is. Move that light over to give us just a little bit more light, because there's not a rod on the far right now. Forest with 2 R's. What was that red eye shine? I have no idea what you're referring to there, Forest. You might have to clarify there. I like your profile picture though. All right, what's going on here? Our carp rod is way off to the right. I'm gonna reel down in and see what happens. It was just caught up in some junk floating down the river. I'm gonna rebait that and get it sent back out there. Alrighty. Here is what our bait is looking like. I'm gonna send that out there. Maybe a little bit off to the right now that we don't have a rod on the right. Alrighty, back in business now. Got another dog walker. Fishing with Jeff Beal is in here, and Jimmy's in here. I saw something across the water by those trees on the left. If those are trees over there, I saw red eyeshine. Definitely wasn't deer. Huh. Well, I don't know. I guess I don't have to be concerned about it because they're on the other side of the river, unless they can swim. Jimmy says, any luck yet? We've got ourselves one rock bass and one, what was it, 6-pound channel cat? Someone chat can check me. They saw it. I weighed it on camera. But yeah, nice channel cat and a rock bass. Chupacabra, most likely. That's right, Pickles. Fishing with Jeff Beal is in here as well. Jimmy and Jeff Beal frequently fish for catfish and carp on the Schuylkill River. So they know what's up. That's where we're at. It was up higher from the water. Now that I could see the trees on the other side when you let them up. No joke. Something watching this young man fishing. That bait looked nice. The fish gonna love that. Good luck. Well, thank you. Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully I don't get air attacked by whatever had red eyeshine on the other side of the water. That'd be some spooky Halloween action right there, I'll tell you that much. If you guys can see, over there we got a purple light. That's a group of anglers probably doing the exact same thing I'm doing. And like Pickles was mentioning, they have a black light to light up their rods. So, there you go. Hopefully another fish comes our way here soon. Probably a raccoon or a possum. Yep, both seem like good guesses to me. How big is that water you're on? So this is the Schuylkill River. This section of the Schuylkill River is probably, oh, our rod on the left just got bumped ever so slightly. But yeah, this section of the river is probably 80 yards across, something like that. Someone give me a viewership count, how many people we got watching here this evening. And someone, if you would be so kind, also give me a follower count. I know last time we checked we were 511. We have just crossed the monetization threshold. Let me know what we're at right now. I'm going to turn this off, let the lights be on the rods right there. Slight, very slight current. That is true. There's a little current, not a ton. This section's nice and deep, which is why I came all the way in here. There's spots that are definitely way more accessible, but I decided to bike into this location because of the depth. It is about 6 to 7 feet out here as opposed to 4-ish feet most locations on this river in my area. So definitely enough depth here to where I thought there would be fish, and we definitely found one nice fish so far. 513 followers, 26 likes, and 16 in chat. Awesome. Thank you guys for stopping in, especially on Halloween. I know there's probably at least some of you who are out there balancing this live and handing out candy. So I definitely appreciate the support. I thought I'd just do a little fun thing on Halloween for those of you who aren't out there partying or giving out candy or that sort of thing, or going to get candy. So just give a little bit of extra festive enjoyment for the rest of y'all. All right, turning off the headlamp again. Yeah, this setup isn't bad. You can definitely see the rod on the left, you can see really well. In the middle rod, I bet if I tilt up that light a little bit, you can see the rod a little bit better. Let me adjust that here. How's that looking? A little bit better. You can see it a little bit better now. Yeah, thanks everybody for stopping in, especially you new guys. I know I definitely have a tendency, you have to catch my attention for me to stop on someone's live who I'm not familiar with, so thank you guys for stopping in here. It means a lot that you guys were interested. Ooh, I hear a fox. Fox have these weird screams. It's faint. I bet you guys you couldn't hear it on camera, but I could hear it. Definitely a fox somewhere over yonder. It may just be the angle, but I don't know if you guys can see it way over there. Oh yeah, you can. Let's see. Right there, up over the horizon, there's a something. Let's zoom back out. There you go. Something. And I'm not sure what it is. I've lived in this area all my life. It looks like some apartment building, and I'm not sure what that actually is. Very interesting. Took you guys up for just a sec. Straighten you out a little bit. Oops, sorry about that. Trying to get you guys flat. There you go. That's a good view. Alrighty. It's interesting. It doesn't sound like someone talking from the crypt like some lives. Awesome. Well, I'm glad. I try and be informative, but also, you know, keep it lighthearted, have some good conversation with you guys in chat. I try and keep, you know, divisive topics out of here. I am a Christian, and I'm always open to sharing that. I never try and push it on anybody, but I always share it. I think it's kind of an obligation that we have as believers. But like things like politics, don't ever want that type of stuff in here, and just try and keep it fun instead of having serious and not so fun topics like that. People already have that shoved down their throats enough. An hour and 41 on the stream. You know what? Here's what we're going to do tonight. My phone's at 56%. Once my phone gets down to a low enough percentage to where it goes into battery saving mode, that's probably when I'm going to call this live, because we've already got ourselves a channel catfish. And yeah, no need to stay out here too long. It's going to get a little bit chilly here because it is starting to be that fall time of year. If it was summer, I'd be totally fine staying out here super long because it'd be nice weather, but it will start to get a little bit cold here and not too long. Not much to talk about right now, so I might as well talk about some video stuff coming up. Now that I have the monetization requirements, which we just hit, I am going to set up my memberships here in not too long. What that means is I'm probably going to set it up as low as it can be. I think that's 99 cents a month or $1.99 a month, something along those lines. I'm going to set it up as that, and then I'll probably do $1.99 a month. And then if you become a member, you'll get early access to some fishing content, that sort of thing. You'll get member-only live streams every once in a while, some other fun perks, some member-only posts, and you can support the channel I've said this many times. I just like doing this for fun, but a little bit of kickback is always nice. And to hit that, that I guess you would call it that landmark, or I'm losing the word, but you know what I'm saying. To hit that goal is super awesome. And yeah, we're definitely going to start doing some members only stuff, releasing some content on there. So if you're interested, once I get the monetization stuff up and running, make sure you become a member. If not, that's okay. Definitely don't want to be pushy. And then as far as normal video stuff, I have a video on knife modifications coming out here soon, and seeing if it's ever worth it. Like seeing if it's worth it to make your own custom knife and modify one. That's probably going to be the next long form video to come out on the channel. Got some fun fishing shorts to come out that I just have to edit, put out there. Multi-species madness from this summer will be being released throughout this winter. I have a video about a catfishing trip I did with Anything Is Possible. A little bit different style of video there. I have a micro fishing video to come out before this year's over. I have a couple more product review videos testing some stuff out to come out. Yeah, definitely some good stuff to come down the pipe, so get excited for that. Thomas Goff says, would you ever do a bullhead video? I've had bullheads featured in a number of videos, but I've never done a dedicated video. If somehow it ended up being that was advantageous and that fit the moment, and I thought it would be a good video topic, I definitely would be open to doing it. I kind of just go with the flow, see what's good ideas, see what I think people would enjoy, and see what I think I would enjoy making. All right, left rod, here we go. All right, hooked up again on the left rod. Oh, it popped off. Dang it. I don't know what it was. Wait. It felt like another catfish. He took the bait, man. Look at that. Stripped the hook, fully stripped the hook. Man. Alright, well, I'm going to put another piece of cut bait on there and cast it back out. That was second catfish. I assume it was a catfish. He was coming up, and then he came off. Good sign, though. Alright, let's cast this thing back out. Let's check on our carp rod while we're at it. The carp rod is drifting a little bit because it's getting caught on stuff that's drifting down on the surface. It doesn't have as much weight to it, so I'm going to try and put it in a more advantageous spot to staying still on this next cast. All right, let's check chat. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit of pity for my lost catfish there. Freezing cold mornings here, which I'm not a fan of. Yep. Is bullhead a lot different from channels to catch? No, they're almost exactly like little channels. Creed is in here. Thanks for coming in, Creed. We've got one rock bass on the board and one nice channel cat. We just lost, I think it was another channel cat. Could have been a flathead, but on our rod over here to the left, our big heavy meat stick, we just lost another catfish. To the right, we have a carp rod. We've got 3 bites and 1 landed fish on the left rod, and so far nothing on our carp rod. So anything is possible is back. Bob, we got 1 catfish. And my Bulkinator like setup, which is over on the left, is the perpetrator. It got us a catfish. First ever fish I've caught on that setup, and it handled it really well. It definitely is. It's probably even a little bit stiffer than the Bulkinator, so it's definitely a big fish type of rod. Pickles is saying hi to Bob. I definitely want to get at least 1 more nice fish before we leave. That channel cat could have been it, but unfortunately it came off the hook. This is definitely a really good spot to do this type of thing at. Nice and deep out there. Nobody, it's not a high traffic area. You're actually allowed to access it at night, unlike some of the other areas that could have been good. Nice wide open spot, good for casting, nice and deep. All the things you'd want in a good spot like this. Only unfortunate part is it's so far from the access point that I had to bike in. And I biked downhill on the way here, but I'm gonna have to bike back uphill on the way back while carrying rods. It's a little bit difficult. I tested it to make sure it was possible before I came down here, just to make sure I could make it back up. But yeah, it's still gonna be a little bit difficult. What's your personal what is your personal best catch that I've caught? The biggest thing I've ever caught was an 100 to 120 pound ray that I caught this summer at Ocean City, Maryland. That will be out for members as soon as I get my membership set up soon. Yeah, that'll be out for members real soon. And then it'll be out in a multi-species madness video as part of that video, probably January to February time. Biggest fish I've caught from this river is a 30-pound flathead catfish. Stewart's back in here saying hi to Bob. Creed is shopping for tackle. That's something he seems to do a lot of. Creed loves to test tackle. He's mainly a bass fisherman, does some other stuff as well, but he is, in the know about all the bass fishing gear. So if you're into that sort of stuff, make sure you check his channel out. One of your favorite things. Just got a new rod in today, currently shopping for a new reel for it. Yeah, one of your favorite things. Yep, I get it. It's fun to do research and pick out the thing that matches and then see how it actually fishes. Stuart says, hello Creed, my dynamic brother. That's in reference to Creed's previous name here on YouTube, which is the Dynamic Angler, for those of you who aren't in the know. The bugs are swarming around my headlamp. I'm going to turn it off for a minute. That's another reason why having those lights out there is a good thing. So I can turn off my headlamp and still see, even though I'm not getting mogged by the bugs. Mogged, that's not the right word. Mugged by the bugs. Mogging is some sort of a term from the youth of today. I don't know what it means. It's like a Gen Z term. I am Gen Z, but I don't know what it means. I guess that's probably a good thing. Would you ever do a video on the Mississippi River with someone like M Hood Fishing? I'm not sure who that is, but I would definitely be open to doing a video on the Mississippi River. Problem is I'd actually have to be out there and travel out there. So, what bait are you using for catfish tonight? I have some cut bait. All the bites have come on cut pieces of chub so far. They're my top choice. I do have a green sunfish if we run out of chub, but I want to use the chub as much as possible. As Bob can attest to, and anybody who watched my catfish bait testing video, the catfish seem to prefer chubs over sunfish. So I'm going to use the chubs if possible. The angler formerly known as, yep. Next, Creed will change his name to a symbol. Huh. Interesting conjecture there. Chub on. That's about right. Turn that on just for a second to see what's up. We got a little bit of slack in the rod on the right. Parentheses 4336. Yep. Prince reference. Okay. We just heard a fish jump off to our right. Does that look like my name? C as the parenthesis, 4 as the R, 2 3s as the E's, and a 6 as a D. I mean, it's about as close as you're gonna get, Creed. Yeah, our catfish rod with 3 ounces of lead is staying in place perfectly. Our carp rod has about 1.5 ounces of lead, and it's drifting ever so slightly. 808 for Bob. There you go. They say goldfish works the best for catfish, but I never tried it. I believe here in Pennsylvania it would be illegal to use goldfish as bait. Stuart saying hi to Jimmy. Just go with the old dude from The Office fishing. I'm not familiar. I mean, I know a little bit about the show The Office. Mostly just like the iconic moments. I know the meme, if you will, of like him screaming no meme. I know a little bit about it. Like I know some of the characters' names. Like one of them's Dwight Schrute. I know that one. I know Michael Scott. Like I know a little bit, but I don't know enough to know what you're talking about there. All right. So we have not caught another fish to give us the privilege of eating our Sour Patch Kids. So I'm getting a little hungry again. We're going to eat some of our cinnamon sugar pumpkin seeds that we made in yesterday's short. Not illegal in Texas. I assume Creed's talking about using goldfish for bait. Caught some pretty good sized goldfish in one of my local lakes. Yeah, I've caught goldfish, but they're not supposed to be released. It was like accidental, or I guess breaking the law intentionally and just not caring. Nolan, that short was awesome. Well, thank you. X-Man GT is putting in lyrics from, what's that song called? The Thick of It by KSI. The only reason I know that is because I go to school with a whole bunch of other high schoolers who have informed me on such things. Watch The Office and UK. The Office US and UK. I'll put that on my list of things to consider. Thick of It. Yep, I got it. By KSI. Not something that I would know unless it was told to me by other high schoolers. Take a look at our awesome looking pumpkin seeds. Let it focus. There you go. Cinnamon sugar pumpkin seeds, which we made in yesterday's short. And there you go. Munching on those until we get another fish, which, as per the rules I set up at the beginning of the video, would grant us the privilege to have a couple more candies. X-Man GT says, do you like Lego? I do like Lego. I haven't done it a bunch. Too busy with fishing and homework and all that. But Legos are great. Probably if I had to give a ranking to toys, it'd be like your bouncy ball, and then Lego's probably number 2. It's a good toy. Yash Sivan, one of my classmates in school, smart lad right there. How's it going, Yash? We got one catfish on the bank from our left rod right here, and we caught a little tiny rock bass on a piece of worm to start the day. M says, nah, watch Trailer Park Boys. Not sure what that is. I'll look into it, I suppose. Yeah. So Yash is just coming in, X-Man GT and M are just coming in. We do have one catfish on the bank, and not too long ago, maybe 10 minutes ago, I hooked up on another one, but it came off. So hopefully we can get either another catfish or another carp before we have to leave here. Do you like Technic Lego? I believe that's the one that, like, you can rotate and you can make cars and stuff. If I'm correct in saying that, then yeah, that's even cooler because you can make like functioning things with it. Super cool. I am going into college with my degree being mechanical engineering, so that stuff definitely is intriguing to me. Stuart, given the old, don't forget to like and share and subscribe. Thank you, Stuart, for the support. We, during this live, have popped up over the 500 follower mark, which means I now have all the requirements needed to start making a little bit of money here on YouTube, which is super awesome. Thank you guys for the support. MBP Fishing, how's it going, everyone? Happy Halloween. They say they subbed. Thank you for the support. We've got one catfish up on the bank so far. Trying to get another one, or a carp. Left rod is catfish, right rod's carp. Mike from MBP Fishing. I think I knew that. Honestly, I know a lot of these names who come into the chat, like Off the Hook Outdoors and all these people. I'm familiar with them from other people's lives and other communities. Sometimes I'm just not confident enough in knowing their first name to say it, but then when someone else says it, I'm like, yeah, I did know that. So if I don't say your name, more than likely and you think I should know your name, more than likely I do, and am just not confident enough to say it and mess up, because that'd be awkward. You're correct, and I have a giant Lego car with technical. That's super awesome. Come on. We gotta get a catfish, another one. All right, I'm going to turn off the headlamp because the bugs are starting to come back. No worries, I mess up all the time. Yep. Gina Pettyjohn. Where are you fishing at? I'm fishing on the Schuylkill River in southeastern Pennsylvania. The, I guess, local town to where I'm fishing would be Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. All right. I'm just about done my water. I have my water filter here, which means I can go get a sip out of the river if I want more water after this. Creed says, I always feel so awkward when someone joins my chat and I read their name knowing I'm saying it wrong. Yep. Gina says, whoa, sorry about that. Just got a text notification. Gina says, nice, did I catch anything? We have got one rock bass, just a little tiny one, to start the day off, caught on a piece of worm, and we got a pretty nice sized catfish. He was about 6 pounds, 20-ish inches long, on a piece of cut chub, which is a type of fish if you're not familiar. Cut it in half and use that as bait, and that was caught on that left rod. So, what time is it for you? Given that I live in Pennsylvania, I'm in Eastern time, and it is 7:46 p.m. There you go, Becky Schaefer, that's mom, she's on it. Patrick Lappin, what's in that lake? Oh, what's in the lake? Well, this is actually a river, and there's tons of stuff in here. Sunfish, bass, walleye, catfish, eels, carp, little tiny shiners, darters. There's tons of stuff in here, but what we're going for tonight is catfish and carp primarily. If something else comes, I'd be super happy with it. I did make it to 500. Thanks for the support, Yash. I was talking to him earlier today about the fact that I was super close and that I might hit it tonight. We did, in fact, hit it. Just got one catfish at the very end of my live today. Channel. Sorry, guys, just had a little connection error. MBP Fishing, that's Mike, which I now know, says 10 plus pound big channel cat, a couple big grass carp, and a bass. And I don't know how many drums. Sounds like a good live. Ask everyone. Ask everyone what? I'm not sure. Gina says, just subscribed. Thank you so much. Congratulations on the 500, says Mike. Thank you so much, everybody. It means a lot. The support is definitely appreciated. And the fact that I'm able to make any money on something that I love doing and would do, even if there was no funds associated with it, is super awesome. 523 now, that's awesome. MBP Fishing, Nolan desperately wants a grass carp. That is true. They're not in many places around my area. The only place I know they're in, I actually don't know if I'm allowed to fish that place. I'm going to go up and knock on someone's door because it is in like a community, and I'm going to ask them if I'm allowed to fish there. Asking everyone who they like for catfishing. Gotcha. I missed something, I guess. When did I start this YouTube channel? The first video I ever posted was, I believe, in August of 2022. Or September or August of 2022. Doing it a little over 2 years. The progress was slow at first. It took me till July of 2023 to hit 100 subscribers. And then I got to like 350 a year after that. So I gained 100 in about a year. And then a year after that, I gained 250. And now since July, well, I got to 300 in June. And now I just hit 500. So I gained 200 subscribers since June. So the pace is definitely picking up. And it's super awesome. Stuart says, watch Pontoon Jody, anything is possible. Possum Outdoors. Ed Evans, I watch Ed Evans as well. All those people on that list I watch. Skeeter, I watch for catfishing. Ed Evans, I watch for catfishing. Jeff Beal, I watch for catfishing. These are all good people. Also, not live catfishing, but some really, really good quality catfishing videos is River Certified and Kayak Catfish. They make really, really high quality videos. My mom, Becky Schaefer, says, though, his dad made him famous on another channel when he was 2. I believe it was actually 3. She may know better than I do, but I believe it was 3. Yeah, my dad had a channel. I was super obsessed with Superman when I was little, and he green screened a video of me being Superman, put it up there so the family could see, and somehow it has 20 million views at this current day. Super weird that that happened, but it is kind of a cool story. It's a good one to use for 2 Truths and a Lie whenever that comes about. Yeah, maybe when I get my membership status up, I'll make a members-only community post and give you guys the link to that video so you guys can go find it and watch it. Super interesting. Rod Wilson is in. How's it going? We got a catfish on the bank. Anything is possible sent me, but I think you caught fish, so am Gonski. Oh, so you just came in to see if we caught a fish? Oh, I got you, because your name's Skunk. I understand. Sorry, it took me a minute to catch on, but I got it now. Dad says when he was 3. Yeah, I thought it was when I was 3. What's your favorite video that I've made? Says X-Man GT. That's a good one. That's a good question. Man, that's an absolutely fantastic question. It probably has to be, yeah, probably has to be the How many fish can I catch in an hour? That was a super fun video to do. It took a lot of editing effort, because if you guys watch that video, it's only 23 minutes long. I cut out sections. I didn't cut out any sections. I took them and I put them on 4x speed, and I had to manually input a fish counter and all these different things and make sure my counting was right. It took a long time to edit and a lot of effort, but it was a fun thing to do, and I think it's a really awesome video, and it performed really well. So if you're gonna watch any of my videos, I'd say that's probably one of the ones I'm most proud of, is my how many fish can I catch in an hour. I'll give you a hint. It was a fairly large number. I won't give you the exact number now, but Mike saying hi to Rod. All Things Country sent Gray Heron. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for sharing me out, ATC. Thomas Goff says, I do watch some of them myself, and Muddy Water Fishing and M Hood, 2 other ones I watch. I'll have to make sure I check those out and see what I think. Gray Heron says, I'm hungry. Any fish to give me as a treat to eat? Well, if you were in here a little bit ago, you could have had a nice catfish. We caught about a 20-inch long channel catfish. And what's my most popular video? Says X-Man GT. So the most popular short I have is actually kind of like a comedic one. There's a bait vending machine not too far away from here, and in the winter it was not accepting my money, and I pulled it out as kind of like a little comedic relief, like, man, I just want to get worms, and that got nearly 12,000 views. My second most viewed short is when I was fishing at this river about a quarter mile downstream. I caught probably about 3-pound smallmouth on 2-pound line, and that got nearly 9,000 views. As far as long form videos go, I have a video about putting lanyards on your pocket knives that got about 5,000 views. And then I got a couple in that 2,000 view range. My how many fish can I catch in an hour got about 2,000 views. I had one about crab cakes that got a couple thousand views. Multi-species Madness Ocean City got a couple thousand views. That sort of stuff. Creed asking about my editing setup. I know he's trying to work that out. So Creed, for my birthday this year, earlier this year in April, I got a new laptop that's able to handle some bigger footage and speed up my editing time. You don't necessarily need that, but it'll definitely make the process quicker. I use an Asus Q540. Q540 Creator laptop. If you're interested, we got it on sale. It was like $900 when we bought it, but it's about a $1,300 laptop. It's not cheap, but there's definitely cheaper stuff that is good quality as well, just won't be quite as quick as that one. I use DaVinci Resolve for editing, and if I'm going to do a short where I'm editing primarily from my phone, I use CapCut on my phone. My phone is a Samsung Galaxy S23, so hopefully that helps. Heinz tomato ketchup. Duke's sent me here to get all saucy and stuff. Awesome. Rod saying hi to Creed. X-Man GT says, wow. X-Man GT says, my birthday is also in April. So sweet. This upcoming April, I can technically become a real adult. My 18th birthday is this upcoming April. So, all right, let's go check on these rods here a minute. I think I'm gonna reel them in and recast just for the sake of checking the bait. Alright, so the bait on the catfish rod is still good. Gonna cast that back out there. check the carp rod. Actually, I'll leave the carp rod for another minute or two, and then we'll check it in a couple more minutes. Oh, all right. Get some other chats in here. Hellman's mayonnaise. Hello, Heinz tomato ketchup sent me to make a Thousand Island sauce for greatness to spread over catfish nuggets. Oh man, the mayonnaise lore as in L-O-R-E, not L-U-R-E. The mayonnaise, like a comedic relief, the inside joke started on the Anything is Possible channel, and there's another channel that's involved. The people in chat will definitely know. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But yeah, it's definitely a funny thing. 1-900 buy a fish from the Schuylkill River. We don't need to buy a fish. We already got ourselves a channel cap without spending any money. Guess what I'm doing right now, says X-Man GT. I believe you're watching a Mission Discover live stream. I know that's probably not the answer you wanted, but I think I'm correct in saying that. 1-800-RENT-A-FISH at your disposal. Oh my goodness, we got 1-900 buy a fish, 1-800 rent a fish. We got Hellman's mayonnaise. We got Heinz tomato ketchup. We've got all the fun characters in chat here. Maybe that's because it's Halloween and everybody's dressing up as everyone's favorite YouTube characters. But we've got some fun ones in chat here tonight. There's two things. Pork chops and applesauce from the Brady Bunch. I know that one. Do you fish for anything other than catfish? Pike. I fish for almost everything. People who watch my channel frequently know I love variety. I fish with lots of different types of fishing rods and fishing lures, and fish saltwater, freshwater. I fish for microfish that are like an inch long. I fish for big catfish. I fish in the surf. I do basically everything. However, there are not pike in my area. I've caught pickerel, which are kind of like mini pike, but I've not been to an area where pike are available. So unfortunately, pike have not been on that list yet. 1-800 borrow a fish from Little Finn 3.0. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on in my chat. I'm glad you guys are having fun. It fits the Halloween spirit though. What should be the Halloween spirit, instead of getting excited about, you know, death and weird stuff like that. We should just have a big costume party like this. That's what it should be about, which for many people it is, but you know. According to my most recent poll on my channel, my viewers want me to catch a giant catfish, so now I have to make that happen. I would love to see it created. I believe I voted for carp, if that was one of the options. I did vote on that poll. Bam bam. Say bam bam when you have a takedown every time you hook up on a fish. Next fish, if we get another takedown, I will make sure I say bam bam for you. Creed Garner says not my strong suit. He's referring to catching a giant catfish. But that's okay, it's a good learning experience. X-Man GT says, I'm building a Lego wind-up boat. That sounds pretty cool. I used to be back into Lego sets when I was a couple years younger, and watching your video. Sweet. Yeah, I used to be into Lego sets when I was a couple years younger. They're still cool. I just, you know, have moved on to being out here fishing, doing some work so I can, you know, go have fun, supply myself some fishing money, that sort of thing. Put gas in the truck. The truck goes through gas pretty quick, so I got to have money for that. But I've moved on to working and fishing and that sort of thing, and YouTubing. But Lego sets are definitely still a fun thing. Pork chops and applesauce. My only cat was sight fishing on the curly tail I was using for bass. Yeah, the first catfish I ever caught was on a Ned rig while fishing for bass. It's funny how that works. It's not a Lego set. Oh, I thought that was one of the, whatever you called it, you might have to remind me of the word, the Tetrix or whatever it is. Now I can't remember the word. I'm disappointed in myself. But I guess it's like some sort of model boat. That's also cool. Same sort of idea, putting together a little project, building it yourself. Creed says, my biggest catfish was on a crankbait. Stuart is back. Pork chop and applesauce. Have you tried apple butter? Apple butter's good. I'm a fan of apple butter. It is 8:02. I'm probably going to cut this live at around the 3-hour mark, give or take. So, got a couple more minutes here. It is good, but I got to respect the OG on pork chops. Apple butter has its place. Oh my goodness. All right, we're just about out of water, which means I'm going to go fill up my thing in the river and then attach my filter. I got to make sure this fits on this mouth. This mouth does look a little bit strange, but assuming my filter fits on the mouth of this water bottle, I'm going to fill up from the river and then drink through my filter from the bottle. So unfortunately, I think I was correct in my assessment that that mouth is a little bit different. It does not fit on my water filter, so I'm gonna have to drink straight out of the river. Just bend down there and get some water. I'm gonna go do that in a sec. X-Man GT, I'll make a video about it, so make sure to watch it. Sweet. Anybody interested in, you know, doing some Legos or other sorts of building fun little projects, make sure you go check out X-Man GT. Sounds like they got some good stuff going on. All right, got some water. Bent down there by the edge with my life straw and got us some water. You guys have seen this in a couple of videos here, but this is a super awesome tool for outdoorsmen, whether you're hiking or doing fishing. Being able to drink straight out of a water source is a super cool thing to be able to do. Mama Wrench, not familiar with you, but thanks for stopping in. All right, gonna turn off the headlamp here. There you go. When I bent down there by the water super close, there's tons of really tiny mosquito fish, which if you guys aren't familiar, are a super tiny type of fish that are supposed to eat mosquito larvae and keep mosquito populations down. They've been introduced all over America. I believe they're from Asia initially. And yeah, I've done some micro fishing with super tiny hooks and caught tons of types of really tiny fish, including mosquito fish. But the ones I saw down there were real small, maybe a third of an inch or so. Mama Wrench says Stuart the Fish Whisperer sent me. Good old Stuart. He's a great dude, supporting people, supporting channels. He's like the ultimate moderator and connector of different channels here on YouTube. If you're a friend of Stuart's, you're probably going to end up being a friend of mine because, you know, he's a kind dude and picks out good people to have as his, you know, main supporters. I guess you don't really pick them, they pick you. But if you're a good person, you're probably going to have high quality individuals following you as well. All right, I'm going to check on this carp rod off to the right because that's been sitting there for a while and I think it's drifted a little bit. And yeah, we'll see. The river is super calm right now. Stuart's saying hi to Mama Wrench. What's the average size carp in that river? Pretty decent, probably around the 20-inch mark. Bob caught one about a half a mile upstream from where I am on his live today. I wasn't watching it, but I checked in on the replay and I knew exactly where he was. That bridge is pretty unmistakable. And yeah, it was about half mile upstream from where I am, and his was about 2 feet long, something like that. Oh man. X-Man GT says, I'm older than my girlfriend by 6 days. It's funny, right? A little bit random, but I guess if it's funny, it's funny. You might have to explain to me what's funny about it. I mean, it's kind of cool to be that close in age, but heard a fish jump way off to the right. All right, come on, one more fish. 2 hours and 28 minutes. Let's see if someone can give me a update on what our follower and viewership and, as they say, thumbinos. I'm not sure who started that, but that's been said in my chat a couple times. It's what's our thumbinos looking like and what's our viewership here looking like. Because somehow my YouTube's glitching and I can't see any, but it was supposed to be a horizontal live stream and it flipped it to vertical, which really annoys me. But as I said earlier, I kind of just roll with the punches. 524, thank you so much. Thanks, Mama Wrench, for giving me that info, and thank you guys for support. 44 thumbinos, sweet. Creed says, I need to branch out to new spots. I fished at my closest spot last night. Average size is 14 to 16 inches. Yeah, you said you were just de-stressing. I watched your short on that, which is always good to just go to the local spot. 29 watching. Awesome, awesome, awesome. The only rod I use is my ultralight, says Creed. Is that for carp or just in... Well, I know it's not just in general because you are a bass guy and you use tons of stuff, which I have seen in your videos. I guess that means just for carp. George Martinez. Oh. How you doing? Is it Dogandi Outdoors? Curtis Cunningham. How's it going? I believe... Tell me if I'm wrong here. I believe both of you are people who I've seen either in a Stewart or a Bob or someone like that chat before. I'm just, you know, you're not like super frequent flyers around. Dog and I, gotcha. You guys aren't as frequent flyers as some of the other people, but I believe I have heard your name before. I would donate, but I can't because my parents. Not a problem. Don't ever feel any pressure. I appreciate the support anyway. Seems like you're a little bit newer to the whole fishing and outdoors concept, but hopefully you're enjoying what you're seeing. Julie is in. Hello. Says she had to make dinner and Justin was hungry. Makes sense. I think you missed it because I believe you were in much earlier in the live. I could be wrong in saying that, but I believe you were. But we have one catfish on the bank. Pretty good one. So we have achieved the objective in coming out here this evening. Hopefully we can get one more before we leave. I'm probably going to cut this live right at the 3-hour mark. So we got about half an hour left. I saw the one catfish. It was 5 pounds-ish. Sweet. I wasn't quite sure at what time you came in. There's a lot of stuff to try and remember back in chat, but yeah, I believe it was 5 to 6 pounds, somewhere in that range. Pickles and barbecue got the closest to the weight. I remember that. 10,000 subscribers, and I'll be collaborating with any fan. Yeah, I know you said that. You should join us. Yeah, I definitely will. Bob and I live only about 25-30 minutes away, and yeah, if you make it, I guess it's up our direction. I always tend to say down. If you make it down this direction, but for you it's up. If you make it up that direction, I'll definitely have to make sure I come and see you. Yeah, Creed, if I'm correct, Creed has few hundred more subscribers than I do, but I don't think he's there on the watch hours. He's got really good content, but he's just struggling with getting long-form video out consistently because of his editing situation. So once he gets there, I'm sure Creed will be able to get his watch hours up and get to that monetization requirement as well. Devin says, I had catch a 5-pound bass. You've caught a 5-pound bass? That's super, super awesome. So now Devin, D-E-V-I-N, is the name of one of my friends at school. It's possible that's him, but he's a smart dude. Not saying you're not smart, Devin, if it's not you, but he's a smart dude and he's very particular, so I don't think he'd misspell anything. Not a problem if you misspell anything, but I just don't think he would. The one I got last night was a meathead though, like a schmedium. Because Dog and I says I was live last night and got one channel cat. Sweet. Watch hours are hard. I struggle. Yeah, I was way down on them. And then I did one live, and that one live really, really turned around. I got about 2,000 watch hours off that one live. I'm not sure why, but man, I'll take it. And yeah, it really turned around. It just goes to show you anything can really happen, and you never know. So I'm up over the watch hour requirement, and I just got over the subscriber requirement for first rung monetization. Once more, I'll thank you guys for that. George Martinez says, I'm going to subscribe, but I want some catfish. Me too, man. We got one, and then we lost another one. He was hooked up for probably a good 30 seconds or so, but he came off. One more would definitely be nice. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Yeah, it definitely is. Robert Sheely says, what's the best nighttime bait for big fish? Typically, when I'm fishing at nighttime, I'm going for catfish, and I either use live sunfish or chubs or cut sunfish or chubs. Those are the best things. You can also use chicken liver. That works really well as well. Creed says, I got a whole new computer setup and monitor, and it still didn't work. Man, tried using DaVinci Resolve, and it crashed my computer every time I opened it. Yeah, if you got, based upon what you're saying, it looks like it's a PC. The most likely issue to why that's happening is that you don't have enough processing power, which likely comes down to your RAM. But if it's a PC and you do a little bit of digging, you could probably find someone online to help you out with it as well. I think you can just install more RAM. So if it is a PC, you can probably fix that issue by adding more RAM to your PC setup. All that is conjecture. I don't know if that's actually the issue, but if I had to place a bet, that's what it would be, and it's probably something you can fix if you're that committed to it. Dog and I Outdoors says, good job. Curtis, that is. We have a little fish jumping off to our left, right next to the shore, but we're not interested in little ones. We want another big one. Someone's shooting something off there. Shots fired, as we yelled during the Anyfin lives when fireworks or something goes off. Not sure what they're doing, but something's happening over there. Mama Wrench says, nice to meet you all. I need to turn the Halloween lights off. I think we have seen the last of the little goblins searching for candy. Happy fishing, y'all. Stay safe and blessed. Thank you, Mama Ranch. I'm not sure why I had a hard time reading that. But yeah, definitely go take care of that. I appreciate you stopping in. Jeff Schaefer, that's my dad, says processor cores and graphics cards are important. Yep, graphics cards and RAM, all that's the same sort of stuff. The guy that I got it from tried to, but it would only take up to 16 gigabytes of RAM. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM on my laptop, and I run DaVinci Resolve just fine, which means it's probably not the problem unless there's some sort of error there. When I say new, I mean new to me. It's pretty old, actually. Yeah, but if it has 16 gigabytes of RAM, that should be just fine. It may be the GPU or the graphics processing then. That might be the problem. Nolan, can you give Wendy a shout out, please? Certainly. Wendy is Stuart's awesome wife. Stuart and Wendy have been big supporters of the channel for a long time, and they are definitely, oh yeah, that's true. I'll have to get to that comment in a second. But yeah, they are definitely people who are really kind people. Unfortunately, they've been subject to a lot of untrue kind of rumors and things that has hurt their reputation a little bit. But I can say from talking to both of them, they're really nice people and they really just want everybody to succeed. So yeah, Wendy and Stuart are both definitely awesome people, and I have no problem giving them a shout out. Jeff Schaefer, that's my dad, says codecs. That's another thing, Creed. It could be that. The GoPro footage, I know you have a GoPro. You have a couple of them, if I'm correct. But GoPro has certain codecs, which is like how they encode the files when you put it on computers. And if your computer is too old, it doesn't have like the proper software to interpret the codec and then won't work properly with the footage. That could also be the issue as well. That's a good call out. I completely forgot about that. But that's why Dad's here. He's a smart dude. Stuart, I'm not sure what you're saying. Jeff, yeah, Stuart, I don't know what that means, buddy. You say a lot of stuff that needs some extra interpretation at times, but you're a funny dude, so it happens. Man, no action on our rods here in the last few minutes. You know Jeff Durham. I'm not familiar with Jeff Durham. All right, let's take a look at some of the chats here. That sounds about right. It crashes when I try and add the footage from my GoPro. It's only Windows 10 as well, which they will stop updating in about a year. Yeah, I think that might be the issue then. See, if you can, like, just, are you saying when you try and upload it to DaVinci Resolve or try and upload it to the computer? Because if the computer itself can't look at the footage, then it's almost certainly the codec. If it's in DaVinci Resolve, then it might be like some sort of setting like around the codec or around your GPU usage. Stuart says, you know, Peanut the purple puppet uses Peanut says, oh, Jeff, so I was being a Peanut calling your dad. Oh, okay. This is the same thing you were doing on Jeff Beal's channel. And I didn't get the reference then either. Okay, that makes more sense. Who's spreading rumors about Stuart and Wendy? I'll throw hands with them. Yeah, I know. This is a thing that's been going on for quite a long time. It's kind of slowed down a little bit, but there's still some stuff circulating. I don't want to bring it up on live, but Creed, I know I have your direct message on Fishbrain too. If you really want to know, make sure you message Stuart or I, and we can let you know about some of the situation. It's an unfortunate thing. Unfortunate stuff that happens when people just are negative and spread false information, but it has been happening to them, which is unfortunate, but yeah, they seem to be dealing with it pretty well. Windows 10 will not automatically update to the required codec. You may need to buy it. Yeah, it cost like $2 or something for us to get the codec, and it did seemingly work when we did so. We had to do that on when I used to edit on the family PC, which ran, I believe it did run Windows 10, so we did have to do that before I got my laptop. So yeah, try that, Creed, and see if it works. Two hours and 43 minutes. Hopefully we can get a last minute catfish. I'm going to eat a couple more of our pumpkin seeds here, and then start packing up everything. So once we hit that 3-hour mark, I can be ready to leave. These pumpkin seeds are very good. They're almost like candy in of themselves. Look at that. Sugary goodness right there. X-Man GT says, sorry. Sorry for what? You didn't do anything wrong. Oh, because you left? Yeah, not a problem. Stuff happens. People have got things to do. I think that's people off to my right, casting baits. But there was some sort of plop. It was either that or a fish jumping. All right, I'm gonna start getting everything organized. So that way, when it's time to pack up and leave, I'm ready to rock and roll with that. I don't know where I put my, oh, it's back here, my lid to my pack bait. I'm gonna make one pack bait ball and sit it here in case we need to rebait, and the rest of it I'm gonna throw in the river because I taped it shut on the way here so it didn't open in my bag, but the tape is now unusable because it's been sitting and getting dusty, so it won't stick anymore. We got one good pack bait ball in case we need to rebait, and the rest goes into the river. Maybe that'll bring in the fish. We'll also throw the rest of our cut bait out. All right, I'll check chat in a minute here, just getting a couple more things organized. Alrighty, back behind the steering wheel, if you will. My thing is glitching, sorry, not a problem. Chum it up, little brother, says Stuart. Yep, I threw all the pack bait in there except for a little bit. And hopefully that means the fish will come in for the last few minutes of this live. But we did get one nice channel cat, so I'd call that a successful mission out here for our Halloween fishing live. There's a catfish on the thumbnail, so it's cool to catch a catfish. All right, I'm gonna put a couple more things away here. Alright, I'm back once more. Hopefully you guys have been enjoying this live. I think it was super fun. We did get ourselves a fish. Maybe we'll have one show up last minute, but if not, we did get ourselves a nice catfish and a little rock bass, and I've enjoyed chatting with you guys on this Halloween evening. We earned ourselves 7 Sour Patch Kids throughout this live, which is pretty good. Had some good cinnamon sugar seeds, and because we hit our subscriber goal of 505 super early on, I got to eat my pumpkin bread as well. So our little Halloween food challenge that we did throughout this live went well. I can turn this off. I do like this look to where you can just see the black background and the rods standing out with the lights on them. I find it a super cool little look there. 26% on the phone, which means by the time we finish this live up, it'll be about 20%, which is good enough for me. It's a short drive home. I need to bike up this hill. That's the most difficult part. But yeah, once we get up that hill, we should be in the clear. Who all we still got in here? Give me a head count. Also, someone fill me in on our stats for this live. How's everything doing? Come on, Stuart, you need to sing your fish summoning song for a final catfish or carp before we head out. Oh yeah. Maybe everyone left. Nobody's chatting at all. Maybe everyone actually did leave. That was a joke, but nobody's still here. I can't tell if anybody's watching because my thing's glitching and I can't see the viewership count. Seven more minutes before we pack it up. And it doesn't look like anybody's in here watching. Everyone left me. Oh no. Oh yeah. It's really nice out here this evening though. Super glad I came out. Six minutes left before we cut the live. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't look like anybody's in here. Anybody in here? If you're in here, pop something in the chat so I know you're still watching. If not, then I guess I'm just talking to people who watch the replay. This could be a little spooky Halloween thing. Alone in chat on Halloween night. Looks like our angler over there. I don't know if you guys can see that well. Whoa, there you go. They look like they have a red headlamp on and a black light to light up their rods. I wonder if they've caught anything. Ooh, so that buzz that you guys just heard, I can't look at it now because it'll cut off the live. But if anybody's watching, that text that I got now is from Anyfin is Possible. And he's texting me about possibly doing some fishing tomorrow. So that may be a thing. Four more minutes. I'm going to reel in our carp rod here. Pull out our rod holders. We can also chuck this pack bait ball in there. Because it's not going to be used on our carp rod, which we just pulled in. Pull out these rod holders. Anybody still in here? Bob is still in chat. He just texted me from my actual messaging app, just not in the live. They're still in chat, still watching. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Yeah, 25 is still in chat, just nobody is actually putting any chats in there. Bob's updating me through my messages. We're gonna reel this rod in. Now my dad's texting me as well. Everybody's who is still in chat is, and Stuart is as well. Wow, everybody who's still in chat is texting me through my messaging, like my actual phone messages instead of the chat message. I guess that's okay. Thank you guys for sticking with me. It says, Stuart said there's 26 people in here still. Thank you guys for sticking with me to the end. In 1 minute, we're gonna reel in that rod. I'll keep you guys on the line while I pack up, and then I'll cut the live right before I make the adventure back up this pretty steep hill on the bike while carrying all the rods. It's definitely tough. My rod holder down there has a nice handle on it, and I put that over my right handle on the bike and then put it next to it. It's a little bit unbalanced, but I'm a decent enough rider to where I can handle it. So yeah, it should work out nicely, and I should be able to get myself back up the hill. If not, I guess I can always walk, but the bike's a little bit faster, and it's definitely faster coming down. That's the main reason why I brought it. All right, we've hit 3 hours. Time to reel in our catfish rod. Unless there's somehow a surprise fish just sitting there with it, then it looks like we're gonna end the live with just one catfish, but that's okay. It's still a mission accomplished in my book. All right, we got all the rods reeled in. I'm gonna leave you guys on while I pack everything up here. Gonna put all the rods in the holder. We'll start with that. All right, got all the rods in there. Gonna pack up my chair next. Here you go, guys. Cool little event to end the live. I mentioned earlier that I had a couple little mosquito fish I saw down there when getting in the water with my life straw, and I was like, I wonder if I can catch one with my hand, and I just went for it. There you go. Little mosquito fish caught by hand. Doesn't count for the day in my book, but it's a cool little thing to end the live. That's one of the biggest ones I've seen down there. But yeah, I've caught these guys. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with the channel, I have caught these guys on hook and line using some of my micro fishing techniques. Toss them back in. All right, these go in my pocket. There's the train. Alrighty. Alrighty, here I am. Let's see if I can get good lighting. There you go. I just about have everything packed up. I now have to make that awesome trek back up the hill on the bike with all the fishing gear. But yeah, that's where I'm going to end this live. For those of you who are still in here, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for all the support. We have hit that 500 subscriber monetization requirement during this live. Super, super awesome. Super pumped about that. Stay tuned for more content. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Have an awesome rest of your night. Spend the rest of your Halloween wisely. Be safe. All those things. Don't eat too much sugar. It's bad for your health. All those things. God bless. I'll see you next time. That's how I'm going to end the live. Bye.